Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Robert Biggerstaff here in Pensacola, Florida. I am all about some real estate investing, becoming financially independent, and I have a construction company as well. So my passion has to do with real estate, making houses beautiful, taking something that's ugly that other people might not like, and then making it beautiful. I'm going to chronicle the process of the $10,000 house. I've had a lot of people come to me and say, hey man, how'd you do it? How'd that happen? Tell me about it. Tell me exactly what you did. Like there's a mystical formula out in the universe that somehow you're just like, hey man, we got plugged in, dude. And that's not the case at all. It was just good old fashioned hard work that, that kind of made that deal happen. But I will go start to finish exactly on a couple of different points. Why I pursued that house, how it kind of took place, what did I end up with, and where we're at right now. So there's going to be 4 things having to do with the $10,000 house. Have a wonderful day. Stay tuned. Okay, this is what took place to start with. This house right here with the dumpster, that's the $10,000 house, okay? Now, this street right here that I'm about to show you, this is actually the street that I already own one house on, and the $10,000 house is about 9 houses away from it. So right there is that townhouse. That is one of my other properties right there. Okay, so I would come by, I would drive up this road, and you can barely see it, but you see the edge of that black dumpster out there? That is the $10,000 house. Well, I would pass that house, 2-3 times a week, and I kept watching for some kind of activity and never saw anything. So down that way, about where that car is where my other house is. So then you come up this road, and I would see this house all the time, and I would look, and there never looked like there was any kind of activity going on or anything like that. So I started paying closer attention to it, and so it kind of tipped me off that nobody was living there. Then we're walking around this house taking a look, and then all of a sudden I see this red tag on the power meter, which means the power was cut off. So that tells me it's been a little while since somebody was here. Hey everybody, so I've got my eye on the house that I'm wanting to acquire, at least find out if it's available. So then what's the next thing you do? You always got to talk with Tyson, the real estate pit bull. Come here, boy. Come here. Yep. Oh man, he's always full of good advice. And so the next thing we need to do is find out either somebody that knows something about the house or find the owner himself. So let me get back to you on that, and I'll tell you exactly how I found that person. So I go on the county website and I check out who owns the property. I find out the name. There's actually 2 people on the deed. I do some research, and lo and behold, one of them is now dead. So kind of figure, okay, well, not sure exactly what's going on. So there is a mailing address that is different than the physical address. A lot of times you'll see that happen because people have moved, people have died, family keeps the property, they want the mail being sent somewhere else, something of that nature, and so it's not uncommon for that to happen. So what I do is I take the address down where the mail is supposed to go, and I actually go and knock on the door there and ask a lady about the property, and she starts to proceed to tell me about the whole situation involving it, and she happens to also know who the has power of the attorney for the last living person that owns that property. So we get in touch with that person, and that's how we end up buying that house. That person was knowledgeable as far as the real estate in that area goes, what the price is. I told her, I said, hey, fixed up. That house is not going to be worth more than about 30 or 40,000, and it does need a lot of work. She said, you're absolutely right. And I said, you know, my offer would be between 8 and 12,000 for it. She said, that sounds reasonable. It does need a lot of work. I said, I understand. And so we went and looked at it, called her up, struck the deal. She said, good. Got together with the attorney, and we went to Bo Harper with Harper Title here in Pensacola, Florida, used him, and we got the contract done, and then a few days later we went to closing on it. And that is basically how the $10,000 house happened. And I'll kind of wrap everything up with a synopsis. Stay tuned. Hey there, if you would, please, this is Robert Biggerstaff with the No Pay, No Stay Network. Please tell all your friends about us, subscribe, and also share the video with anybody that might be an aspiring real estate investor just getting into the business, wants to know something about landlording, rental properties, whatever it might be. Please, let's help everybody out so we can make this thing more enjoyable, more profitable, and what's the end game goal? Financial independence, to where we don't have to worry about it any longer. All right, well, there you have it, the $10,000 house. It, you know, kind of found the property by just traveling back and forth and keeping our eyes wide open. I investigated it with some follow-up, in the sense that just because I couldn't find, you know, nobody around there to tell me anything about the place didn't mean that I stopped with it. From the first time that I showed interest in that property till the day I closed is probably about 3 months total. Once I actually made contact with somebody that knew the owner, that had power of attorney, then the process went real fast. You know, they were looking to sell. They knew that the person couldn't move back into the house. There's a lot of work to be done. They had a problem. I helped solve that problem. I got a great attorney that I worked with that kept everything running smoothly, communicated with everybody in the process. That's absolutely crucial if you're going to grow your business, you know. And I can't say how much, you know, if there's one thing out of this whole thing that somebody really needs to be able to master, I would have to say it's communication and relationships. You know, it's absolutely critical, because if all you're doing is going from person to person to person and everything, and say like you use a different attorney every time you close and everything, you don't establish that bond. You don't establish that rapport with that person. You know, I can pick up the phone and be able to talk with my guy basically whenever I need to. And that's not something that I abuse and, you know, call with real stupid off the wall questions. You know, and so many times people are like, man, I can't ever get through to this person. I can't ever get through to that person. And it's like, well, you know, are you hijacking their time with stupid, useless stuff? Or are you actually contributing and adding some value to their life, you know, and being respectful of their time? You know, the thing is people are going to make you or break you, okay? And even Jesus had to have the disciples to do something great. You're going to have other people involved in this whole thing, you know. Start to finish, there's probably about 8 different people that were involved with this. You know, some people that encouraged me, some people that looked forward to it, some other investors that were like, you know, high-fiving me because, you know, I got a good deal and everything like that, you know, and some other people that I had to talk with. And then, you know, the 2 people that have done the internal clean out on the inside, and then the guy that's done the external clean out on the yard and everything like that, you know. So all in all, you know, there's been a number of different people. So, you know, first we identified the property. Then we found somebody that could make a decision. We evaluated the property. We made an offer. And 4, we went to closing. And that's what it's all about. It's Robert Biggerstaff. Have a wonderful day.